A look at that still to come.
Kansas is a step closer to balancing its budget. Governor Sam Brownback has now signed both a new budget and tax bill into law. That means the state sales tax will jump to 6.5%, along with various other consumption taxes. Still, the governor maintains overall there has not been a tax hike this year. You might wonder, how can he make that claim when many are calling this the largest tax hike in state history? But Brownback says you have to look at the state's tax policy as a whole. He says the tax cuts enacted in 2012 saved Kansans $713 million, while the new taxes should only cost consumers about $350 million next year.
When looked at in totality, from 2012 to 2015, as I stated at the outset, Kansans are paying less in taxes and continuing to move off income taxes to consumption-based taxes.
The governor still has to cut about $50 million for the budget to actually balance. He's already taken back nearly $2 million from a higher ed program after the region said they didn't need new funding, but the rest will have to come from other state programs. Meanwhile, Senate Democratic leader Anthony Hensley issued a scathing statement in response to the governor's comments. He said Governor Brownback is incapable of telling the truth. Not only is this a tax increase, it's the largest tax increase in state history. His glide path to zero is a complete failure and will further result in a self-inflicted budget crisis for years to come. And we've learned today that the state's Democrat county chairs are organizing a protest day at the State House. It's on Friday at 10 a.m. on the south steps of the Capitol. It's for those who are unhappy with this year's legislative actions. Governor Brownback has signed a bill that allows the state to change limits on the amount of money welfare recipients could withdraw from ATMs. The bill allows the Secretary of the Department for Children and Families to increase or eliminate the $25 per day limit on ATM withdrawals with a state cash assistance card. Tonight, Topeka Daycare is hoping that vandals don't damage their property anymore. Twice in the last 4 days, the facility has had to file a police report after finding their playgrounds destroyed. The daycare being targeted also doubles as a church. It's known as In God's Hands Church. The couple who runs it says within the last week, someone has been dismantling toys, destroying fences and gates, as well as breaking concrete barriers in the parking lot. Ironically, the owners think those responsible are kids.
We did have kids that came in and started playing with the daycare toys. And as long as they didn't tear them up, we didn't mind. But now they're not only tearing up the toys, they're tearing up the property too.
Police say to help crack down on the vandals, they're going to be monitoring the area right around the church. The owner says that as a licensed daycare provider, Kansas law says that she must have a playground. And she said she would gladly accept any donations in the meantime to help her get by. This summer provided some uncertainty for local kids and parents. After Emporia's Camp Alexander was closed early last year because of money problems, many wondered whether the camp would reopen at all. New at 10, KSNT News' Gwen Baumgartner was in Emporia today for an update on the camp and its changes.